Good evening, everyone. The date is 22nd of March, and today's Nifty, if you observe keenly, the gap up and the gap up didn't sustain, and the longs have unwinded because there are no much volumes there you can see. So it's a long unwinding, just a bit of short covering at the day's low, and continue to end on the day's low. Uh, the plan had to be three long and three short and two long. I missed one trade on long. I was thinking of Coal India and Jubilant Foods. Jubilant Food just ran away. Then I was seeing Cipla and Cipla also. I missed Cipla because I got another entry on short. So three short, two long day ideally, but I was four short, one long. That kind of made my PNL red at the end of the day. But having said that, it was a good spotting. Like within the 30 minutes, I was able to spot that, there is an unwinding that is happening. So the first trade I took, see this. So the first trade I took was Ultratech Cements. What I didn't observe was the sector was moving on the upside. The C Cements was doing really well. So this stock really, although it had a breakdown, although there was so much of long over the last few days, uh, the squaring off of the positions or what you can call unwinding didn't happen on this stock. So that way we just got unlucky. You can have a look at Sri Cements. Sri Cements was really cruising throughout the day and it was properly trending. So sometimes what happens as a leader of a sector, Sri Cements was part of Nifty 50, so it is still leader. If a leader is participating on up move, it is pretty difficult for other stocks to really, go down. So that way, this remained on the sideway. This was my cost to cost. So this was my first trade. The second trade I took was Oberoi Realty. Oberoi Realty, once again, real estate sector looked a little strong, so I expected this one to unwind. Uh, Although my entry had to be here, there was again spotting issue, spotted a little late, so the entry was about a rupee costlier for me. Although it went to 1 hour and then it bounced back in the end, so this is another cost to cost day. Ideally, on an unwinding day, you want the stock to have rallied till here. Maybe this selling point, which you can see here. So the short should have been here. This stock didn't really do as expected. Lesson learned. You need the stock to have rallied quite a bit on a long unwind day. That way, we could see that happening in a couple of stocks. I think Bajaj Auto. Although it bounced back in the end, there was this kind of long for the last few days. So this unwinding is what I'm talking about. This is a day to go short on this kind of stocks. So if you spot on the index that it is an unwind day, so you look for all those stocks which have ran over the last few days, and you can look for some kind of unwinding in those stocks and look for an opportunity there. Like Tata Consumer was a good one. It had run for a few days. The buying interest was getting weaker the previous day. You can see on the sideways. So this was good. Um, LNT2 was good because every high was actually sold. You can see in the last 3 days. So this was also good. Nika, this is a continuous selling pressure. So you could have actually taken this opportunity as well. So this was my second one, Obera Realty. Really didn't work as per my plan. It was another cost to cost. You expect on a long unwind day the stock to go a little more rally and then you sell. So 2 days up, but this previous day no participation. So that's a lesson learned. The third stock that I traded was Dixon Technologies. So Dixon Tech was again a late entry. You can see 10:08. Ideally, it should have been at 10 o'clock in the morning. So Dixon did move up very well as per the plan, but I don't know. This had other plans. So this didn't work out. It had this worked out well, we would have been on green today. But it went almost to 2 hour. Uh, just I think it's about 1.9 hour. You can see it is 1.94 hour, and it just fell straight away back to my entry. I mean, if it had been 2 hour, I would have, moved it to cost to cost. So that didn't work out as well. The reason for Dixon to go long was it was on a strong move, and actually, again, on a long unwind day, you should look for a short covering opportunity, kind of longs, where the stock would have fallen a lot, and that's when you enter. The stock fallen a lot, and then you enter. So today is a long unwinding and short covering day. So ideally, this section should have been somewhere here, a little bit of board selling, and then a buy. Jubilant Food was an exception, but generally on a long unwind day, look for a short cover day. It means a stock that has fallen a lot, then you look for a long opportunity, something like this one, Cipla. So fallen a lot, then you wait for an opportunity for to go along. That's the lesson. Spotting is one thing, but the thing is that these things don't really get triggered on at 10 o'clock, around 10 o'clock. You can see this, if you see this entire move, that all happened in the last few minutes, but if you see keenly at around 10 o'clock, it really needs a lot of patience and guts to wait. You almost had to wait for this breakout till 12:30. That's when you actually got an entry for long. So the lesson is if you are very particular to enter on some stocks, you got to wait. Although this closed inside, the thing is we look for a long after the breakout, that is your 855.6. Sadly, that never triggered, and of course, we all are like desperate to enter the trade, so we take other opportunities. But on the hindsight, if you see, that's a lesson for me. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, if I make up my mind that I will look for long on Cipla because it has fallen so much, and I know it's a long unwinding day, that is, either it is a bottom fishing day, that is, investors look to buy on opportunities that are extremely oversold, and then they unsquare the square. I mean, the square their positions that they have bought over the last few days and made some money. So this is the concept. The concept is this: if we can fetch this, we will be able to make a lot of money. I strongly believe that we are very, very close to that. In terms of spotting the opportunity, we are almost there. Like around 10:45, I'm able to spot all of these things. It just has to come back to around 9:45. Uh, Need to be a little more good at spotting things far in a faster way. So right now my spotting is around 10:45, but I take entries by 10:30. So thereby I am able to, I'm not able to make some good money at this point, but that is fine. I think another 7, 8 days I should be able to pick up this kind of stocks. But Cipla is a very good one. I mean, I was also looking for another stock, Coal India. Also looked very good, and there was a kind of extreme selling here. Although this was not something like continuously sold over the last few days, but this sell looked attractive for me. However, that didn't really work out, and I didn't get the trade, or I didn't even enter that. Uh, so that is my third stock. The fourth stock was Naukri. Well, Naukri, if you see, I took the trade around 10:15, and I had shorted Naukri, but not sure. I thought there is a strong selling pressure here. 3524.75. 3524 point. Right. So this was a shot, but this didn't work out really well. Well, I am not sure about the reason, but there can always be a chance that this was not a good stock to trade. But yeah, so this one didn't really work out. I entered, and I think within about 15 minutes, this had almost hit my stop loss in the next immediate next candle itself. So that's that. Next one, the last one, I think I spoke about it, Oberoi Realty. So these are the five stocks: Hindustan Zinc, Ultratech Cements, Dixon Tech, Naukri, and Oberoi Realty. If you keenly observe what the takeaway for today is, on a long unwind day, yes, of course, there'll be some short cover, but you shouldn't really bother about that. On a long unwind day, a stock that has really gone up should be really focused to short. So that way, if you see keenly, I think over the last few days, very few stocks actually have rallied. But considering that, I think if you analyze it properly, uh, Bosch was a good one. So it had rallied for a few days non-stop. So Bosch here would have been an ideal one. Maybe if you had waited till 11 o'clock, you would have got an entry here. Max Financials, well, it had a news flow, so we wouldn't trade this. Uh, then, yeah, that's about it. The LTIM was a good one, but what makes it unattractive is such a large SL in the beginning itself. I mean, it's too difficult to achieve at least 1:2. If you're able to achieve 1:2, then it's always good. But even after that kind of fall, I mean, sorry. So the thing is that if you see almost 47 rupees of SL, you really don't know. I mean, generally stock trades to previous day low. So at 1:1 risk reward, you wouldn't want to trade this. So that was why I skipped LDIM. Bajaj Auto, well, I'm like surprised that it has moved back to the days almost high. But yeah, so because FMCG was weak, this was a good idea. Tata Consumer. L&T was a good idea because it's a part of the index. That is also one more thing. When you're on long unwind day, I think at least one stock from index would be ideal. It would give you a good opportunity, is what I feel. That is another learning. And yeah, that's about it. So that's the lesson. That's a learning. Today's a long unwind day. You figure out that. So this usually we can figure out right in the morning. Once you figure out that whether it is a strong buy or a strong sell or a long unwind or a short covering kind of day, more or less you are sorted for the day. But yeah, I mean, uh, there's certain things that has to fall in place. Right now, I'm able to pick this up around 10:30. Slightly more faster is what I would expect myself to become in the next few days, which is very extremely important for me, as my full throttle kind of trading will start from April first week. Yeah, so that's about it. 22nd March, Wednesday. Uh, Ideally, it should have been three short, two long. I went for four short, one long. A lesson learned. Let's see. We'll come back tomorrow and we will analyze again.